is Karnakar Masakatla. Today is June 8th, 2026. This talk is part of a series I'm giving. Today's talk is not awarding Bharata Ratna is an insult to the nation. What do I mean by that? So, not selecting anybody for the Bharata Ratna award in any given year is an insult to the talent in the nation. That's my opinion. I will explain what I mean by looking at the history of the award and then contributions of the people. the the definition of the present Bharat Ratna award is for exceptional service performance of the highest order. So this award was established in 1954 and 73 years since its inception till the current year of 2026. Number of recipients since its inception is 53. Out of 73 years, 53 people were awarded, but these 53 people, number of years it was awarded is 27 years. Only out of 73, only 27 years were awarded, and within those 27 years, 53 people got the award. So timeline of the 27 awarded years with numbers, awards, number of awards in the brackets. So like 1950, 54, 1950s, 54 3 people got, 55 3 people got, and then like this. So 57 only one person got the award. So 1950s we have 8 awards, 60s 6, 70s only 3, and then 80s 4, 90s 17, and 2000 years only 3 hours, 2000 to 2010, 2009, basically 3 hours were given, and then 2010s we have 7, and 2024 to 2026 we have 5 awards. There are not every year it was given, but there are some suspension periods. The first one is 1977 to 79, and then second one is 1993 to 1995. So total number of years they didn't give any award is 6 years. The gap years are like in addition to the suspension periods, no individuals were selected for the honor during the following calendar years. So 1950s and 60s, these years there was no award was given, and then 70s and 80s, this many years there's no award. And then 1990s and then 2000s, all these years there's no award, and 2010 to 2020, 2020s, so this many um, years were left behind without any award. So number of gap years is 40. When you summarize the award, like there are 73 years from the inception of the award till 2026, and then 27 years it was awarded for 53 individuals. 6 years was the suspension period, and then there are 40 gap years. There is no award was given for 40 years, not continuously, but there are stretch of like 1 year there, 2 years there, like that. 40 years there's no award. When you add up all these, we'll get the 73. So we have more gap years than the awarded years, 27 versus 40. Why we didn't honor anybody in the country for the 40 years? So what could be the reasons? Are there any lack of worthy people for the award in the country, or the award is too high of a standard for anybody to achieve? Was the committee that explored the contributions of the people not explored the contributions of the people, not looked into everybody who achieved, who did the research, or any work. They didn't look into, um, were the prime ministers not open to recognize contributions of fellow citizens? So the committee recommended, but prime minister did not select. So what could be the reasons for this kind of lapse in awarding the highest civilian award to the people? And let's look at the population of India in previous years. When I did the Google search, I found out that like in 1960, there were 435.9 million people, and there were 8 awards in 6 years because it started in 1954. So 1954 to 1959, only 8 awards were given out of 435 million people. So 1980 means like a 60s and 70s, 20-year gap. 1980, the population was 696 million people. And then 9 awards were given in 20 years of 1960s and 1970s. Only 9 awards out of 20 years. And then 2000s, in a year 2000, we have 1 billion people, and 21 awards were given in 20 years from of 1980s and 1990s. In 2020, we have 1.4 billion people. 10 awards were given in 20 years of 2000s and 2010s. And in year 2026, the estimated population of India is 1.47 billion people. And then only 5 awards were given in 6 years from 2022, 2022, 2026. All these five were given in only 2024. Rest of all the years were gap years. So this much of population, world most populous country, and then nobody qualifies for the award is absolutely like a very absolutely doesn't make any sense. Having an award and not selecting anybody for the award in the most populous country in the world is an insult to the talent in the nation. That's how I believe. That's why I'm making this presentation. Is the award too difficult to qualify? Let's explore one the reasons one by one. If you think it is too difficult to qualify, then why we need to have it? So there are people who achieved like um, 50 58 people or something. So they achieved, and looking at their contribution, it does seem like it's not that difficult to achieve. So it seems it is easy for the politicians to achieve an entry into the list. Even the politicians, they got it. Even the other winners also, their contributions is not that difficult to achieve. Better not have it than glorifying the political entities. This is the reason behind one of the suspension periods from, I think, Janata Dal government. When that came, they banned the Bharata Ratna and these Padma awards, thinking that these awards were politicized, only going to the politicians. That's why they banned it for 3 years. Other suspension, I don't remember what was the reason, but one of the suspension was that's the reason, because these awards were going to the politicians. But excluding the politicians, we look at the other people like C.V. Raman or other awardees in the science or music or other areas. They did the effort and they achieved the award. So it's not that difficult to achieve it. And also, within this enormous, like so much of population, at least somebody will be qualified every year. So if if at all the government thinks that like it's too difficult to, and the bar is too high, just cancel it. Like, don't have it. Like, it's better to not have the award than having an award and not giving to anybody. So looking at the reasons, are there any lack of worthy people for the award? We are most populous country. There should be at least every year somebody will be there to honor with for their exceptional contributions. And then I don't think that is the one of the reason for not giving, not for having that many gap years. Do I have a standard for the award? Don't think so. That's not a too high of a standard. Looking at all the previous winners, and then but the prime ministers not open to recognize contributions of fellow citizens. I don't think so. If somebody really recommends, and then they are worthy people, prime ministers would select. There might be cases prime minister might have ignored, but that might not be the mm, more frequent thing, and so that might not the case. But what is the what I think that is holding us from celebrating the contributions of worthy people is the committee that explores the contributions of the people. They might not be collecting the right people and presenting it to the prime minister. So the search has to be expanded and then explored all the contributions of the people, and then present it to the president. Even if you make um, mistakes, sometimes we might select somebody and then we might not think that's on par with the level of other contributors, other previous winners, but that's okay. But give it to somebody, recognize somebody, celebrate the achievements of somebody with the highest civilian awards than not giving it to anybody. So, whom are we missing? Why? Who else we can bring up and then celebrate as part of this highest civilian award? So, none of the enlightened individuals who spread the ancient Indian spiritual knowledge all over the world were made to the list. I saw all the list. Maximum number of them are politicians, some of the researchers, um, so some of them are scientists, and then musicians, literature probably there in that, but none of them were spiritual enlightened souls. Why these individuals, even though they contributed not only to India, they spread their knowledge all over the world. Why were they not part of this recognition? So Kriya Yoga or its variants were spread by Paramahamsa Yogananda, um, my Gurudeva, and then Sri Aurobindo, Sri Srila Prabhupada, Sri Sadguru, and many more such gurus has a scientific basis. Whatever they are teaching, that has very much scientific basis, and people adapted that all over the world, and that basically uh, glorifies India's achievements all over the world. These gurus are more than qualified for the Bharata Ratna award for their efforts. If what else could be the exceptional service of the highest order than these enlightened souls achieved? So I don't think we need to achieve anything more than this to get a highest civilian award. There might be criticism for any of these individuals I mentioned. There might be criticism between them, but that should not stop from celebrating their achievements. There will be faults everywhere, but we need to recognize the exceptional, outstanding achievements and celebrate these people with Bharat Ratna. And when I go on to Twitter, the current X, I see many posts with many pioneers in scientific research from India, like 1940s or 30s. They did excellent work, and I didn't even know that like they did that kind of research. So their works were either not cited or stolen outright, plagiarized by other scientists. Those scientists needs to be recognized for their outstanding works. So they basically did excellent work, They were not cited. They didn't get any recognition. They just kind of like disappeared. That should not be the way um, things work. We need to bring them back into limelight and then recognize their achievements and award them with Bharat Ratna depending upon their research and their contributions. Apart from that, as I mentioned in another video, Reform Padma Awards, teams and organizations should also be made eligible for this award. So teams like if some team finds out some research and then that research contributes to the development of the country, that team should be recognized with the highest civilian award. And then if your team builds some highest some structure, that team also should be recognized with the highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna. So we might not benefits might not apply to groups, but their effort needs to be recognized if the results are outstanding. So there might be some benefits with Bharat Ratna. We can't, if there is a team, the team achieves an outstanding, did some outstanding work, we can't give the benefits to all those 100 people. But that as a team, we should recognize and award the award this Bharata Ratna to the team to recognize their wonderful effort. So that's I think that's my opinion. That's how we should um, expand the search and then find out the exceptional contributions instead of not giving the award. There are many individuals who contributed to the advancement of spiritual or scientific domains. There is no lack of people qualified for the Bharat Ratna award. Not presenting the award to anybody is not justifiable. The ones responsible for the recommendation for the award needs to expand their search to find suitable candidates and not limit their search just to popular figures. That's my opinion, and this is as part of a series I'm giving. These are the previous talks. You can watch them in a playlist I created on the manifesto at my YouTube channel, K Marsakatla. And yeah, this is the 11th. Yeah, the basically part of the previous talk I gave about the Padma Awards. And these are my handles on the social media. Thank you for watching.